Boom. All right. Hi, everyone. So, welcome back to Mr. Carter's living room. How's everybody doing? Awesome. I'm assuming you are all fantastic. Ooh, that's my instant pot. Very exciting. So, a few things that I just wanted to talk about today. No new assignments until tomorrow. Also, Friday is going to be like a no school day because we had that day scheduled already to be a day off, like teachers only day. So Principal Donnelly just gave everybody the day off on Friday. So no schoolwork needs to be done on Friday. Sorry, my road outside is very distracting. So I'm going to try to not let that distract me. So, just a few things that I wanted to talk about and clarify. So, one of the big parts of the novel, of course, is it's split into kind of two different stories. So there's the screenplay story that you're all familiar with of him in the trial and going through those motions of everybody else kind of talking around him. Steve doesn't get to talk much during the trial at all. He just kind of has to sit there and take this kind of abuse about him, of these people saying all these nasty things about who he is and what he's done. And the other part would be Steve in his own head and in his journals discussing his reactions to everything. That's where we really figure out who Steve is as a character, where he tries to argue that he's not this monster that everybody says that he is. The other thing is flashbacks. Flashbacks happen a lot. And one of those in particular is on page 123, where a few detectives do their job, but they are jerks about it. So on page 123, the cops show up to arrest him without actually arresting him. So I'm going to go turn off my Instant Pot. I'm back. So, Mrs. Harmon, Steve's mom, right? She's just going through her everyday chores, whatever, when the police arrive. And they say, we need you to come down to the precinct with us, just a few questions. They need him to come down to the police station to answer, right, some questions. And Steve's like, what about? Williams, the detective, some clown said you were involved with that drugstore stick-up just before Christmas. You know the one I mean? Steve, yeah, but what do I have to do with it? Williams, as they handcuff Steve, Bobo Evans. So, number one, that is unfortunately, it is legal, but it is not the right process. Just because the police have what's called probable cause to arrest him because they believe he was involved in the crime. So they think he's involved in the crime, so they arrest him. But they're arresting him without evidence, right? They're going off of the assumption that he is involved. And that is also where race comes in. This is I'm not going to say outwardly racist act because we don't know what was in the minds of these detectives when they arrested him. But it is safe to assume that one of the reasons he got arrested was because of his skin color. And somebody said, hey, this guy was involved. So they went to pick him up. And stereotyping and racial prejudice would then tell these cops, hey, this guy's black. This guy probably did it. So the other thing is you do not have to speak to the police. You are protected under the Fifth Amendment. You do not have to speak to the police at all about a crime. Period. Boom. Unless you are being charged with a crime, you also don't need to go with them anywhere. However, in a situation where the police have what's called probable cause to arrest you or a potential criminal, they have the right to arrest you. And when further and further evidence came out that Steve was actually involved with this robbery, they kept him there. So just want to clarify again, Steve is on trial. Okay, he is on trial. He might be guilty of what's called felony murder. So this means that Steve did not shoot someone. However, he was involved with the drugstore robbery where someone was shot. He participated in the murder. So he didn't kill anybody, but he was like responsible for the murder. He did something that led to the murder. That's what he's on trial for. That's why they think he's the bad guy. But what's really, really weird is that the others who were participants in the robbery also aren't on trial. And it's a very weird other thing that they've got other things going on that are preventing them from being on trial too, right? Or tried for this same crime. There we go. So that last section that that was assigned ended on page 159, and some of the other dehumanizing qualities or characteristics of prison itself are that you are isolated. You are isolated from everybody. And in a few heartbreaking scenes, he talks to his parents. And one of the most aggravating things for me personally is that he can't hug his parents. His dad tries to reach over and touch his son's arm or his son's hand, and one of the guards comes over and tells him that he can't do that. No contact at all. Nobody can touch each other at all, right? Which sucks. Like if you're alone for that long in prison, you're going to want to hug your parents, right? It's just natural, no matter how you feel about them. The other thing that's super sad, he can only see his little brother through the window. Like he has to look through the window, and his little brother is multiple floors down on the sidewalk waving up to him. And we already know that his little brother idolized him, idolized Steve, and that's the only way that their relationship can continue. It's like, it sucks. It's terrible. So those are a few thoughts about Monster. We're rolling forward, just some more readings tomorrow and a few short answers. This week's going to be an easy week. So, alrighty. Peace out.